part two of the Naomi Osaka story. The first one, we had done a take on that and shared it with you, was basically when she said that she would not talk to the press at any of the slams, and particularly she is now playing at the French Open. She wouldn't speak to the media or do any press conferences because it was impacting her mental health. Now, the French authorities have actually come back with a pretty strong directive. Let's have a look at what is in store for Naomi Osaka going ahead. So she has been threatened with disqualification from the French Open if she persists with her controversial media boycott. The officials have made it very clear, and to quote them, "We have advised Naomi that should she continue to ignore her media obligations, she would be exposing herself to possible further code of conduct, infringement consequences." And that said, a statement from the 4 Grand Slam tournaments. So all the 4 slams have sent a very strong message to Naomi Osaka that if she doesn't fulfill her media duties, it's not just about a simple $20,000 or less being fined. And she had basically had a dig at them and saying that, yeah, go ahead, fine me and contribute that to charity. So this is much more serious, and she actually now faces the threat of being disqualified not only from the French Open, but from all the 4 slams if she doesn't change her methods. So let's take a quick look at what is happening at the French Open. So currently, Osaka, who's a 4-time Grand Slam title winner and sports highest earning female athlete, apparently as per figures available last year, she earned $55 million. So she was fined for refusing to hold a press conference after her opening victory over Romanian world number 63, Patricia Mariatic. Now, Osaka, who's just 23 years old, said on the eve of the tournament that she would refuse to carry out any media obligations, claiming she believes traditional post-match inquests are akin to kicking people when they are down. Strong words there. However, the 4 slam events, Wimbledon, the French, Australian, and US Open, they have issued a joint statement saying they had written to Osaka to check on her well-being and offer support wherever necessary. So they made their stand clear. She was also reminded of her obligations, the consequences of not meeting them, and that rules should equally apply to all players. Naomi Osaka today chose not to honor her contractual media obligations. The Roland Garros referee has therefore issued her a $15,000 fine, but she is looking down the barrel of a possible disqualification if this continues. After her match on Sunday, fair to clear this, that Osaka agreed only to a cursory on-court TV interview. Now, the slam heads also said there is nothing more important than ensuring no player has an unfair advantage over another, which unfortunately is the case in this situation if one player refuses to dedicate time to participate in media commitments while the others all honor their commitments. Now, let's see what some of the other players, the key players at the French Open, are reacting to Osaka, and how and what exactly are they saying. So there is Rafael Nadal, there's Ashley Barty, and Medvedev. They were all asked to discuss Osaka's comments. So Nadal said that he respected Osaka's decision, but he said, "I respect her, of course, as an athlete and her personality. I respect her decision. I don't know. I mean, as we sports people, we need to be ready to accept the questions and try to produce an answer. I understand her, but on the other hand, for me, I mean, without the press, without the people who normally travel, who are writing the news and achievements that we are having around the world, we probably will not be the athletes that we are today. We won't have the recognition that we have around the world, and we will not be that popular." No, that's what Rafa said. Barty, the world #1 female athlete, tennis star rather, she said that we know what we sign up for as professional tennis players. I can't really comment on what Naomi is feeling or her decision she makes. At times, press conferences are hard, of course, but it's also not something that bothers me. I've never had problems answering questions or being completely honest with you guys. Medvedev said, "I don't see any journalists trying to take a go at me. Of course, we know, for example, I don't win a lot on clay and I can get crazy, but I didn't really have one journalist saying, okay, you shouldn't do this or that. And because that's when I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to say, you cannot tell this to me." Medvedev also said that talking about journalists, I have no problems. I try always to come to a press conference in a bad or a good mood, and I feel Like even sometimes in a bad mood, I can be in a better mood after talking to you guys. So those are kind words from Medvedev for the press. Now, obviously, the French Tennis Federation President Gilles Moreton had earlier Brandon Osaka's announcement a phenomenal mistake. Where my take is concerned, I want to say that Osaka may have anticipated more public agreement from her colleagues, and that has not been forthcoming so far. Of course, there are a few players who have supported her. The Women's Tennis Association said in a statement, and it's an interesting one, it welcomes a dialogue with Naomi to discuss, and all players to discuss possible approaches that can help support an athlete as they manage any concerns related to mental health, while also allowing us to deliver upon our responsibilities to the fans and the public. And professional athletes have a responsibility. This is important to their sport and their fans to speak to the media surrounding their competition, allowing them the opportunity to share their perspective and tell their story. So the situation is getting a bit tight for Osaka. Of course, some players have pledged full support, but will they stick to their stand if they face default? That is the big question. So it wasn't as simple as paying a few bucks. If you're earning $55 million, what is 20,000 pounds? It's nothing. So that is why she was basically cocking a snook at the authorities and saying, do your damnedest, it doesn't matter. But it will matter a lot if she is thrown out or disqualified from the French Open, and likely will follow suit. That is a point to ponder over. Thanks for watching AG Says.